All right, welcome back everyone for a new episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look ahead to all the new comic books coming out this Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025. I'm going to give you a rundown on all the books I'm looking forward to picking up and reading, some books that might be already selling at a premium, some fun things for you to look out for when you hit your shops this new comic book Wednesday. Hopefully you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, you hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. And if you want to see what books I have for you this week, all you got to do is hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back. All right, so this week I decided to make some tweaks to the presentation regarding some categories, taking some of your viewer suggestions, combining some stuff, maybe adding a few new things here and there. Let me know what you think in the comments down below of how my tweaks go for this week. So we are not going to do any of my personal picks because they are basically, as I think Four Deadly Venoms pointed out, that it's basically just my reading list anyway. So we're just going to go right into it with my reading list and just start there. So all the books that I would put up here normally right at the front that are just kind of an extension of the reading list are just here. So with that said, starting in with the reading list, we're going to hit it off first with Arcbound #3. Enjoying the series out of Dark Horse from Tom Hardy, Mad Max, Mad Max fame, Venom. Also, he played Eddie Brock, but some actors come up with some fun ideas, and I kind of enjoy Arcbound, and I really enjoy some of these covers by Dan Panosian. This is the cover A, but my favorite and the ones that I've been getting are all of basically the B covers that Dan Panosian has been doing, and I love that one in the middle. It just missed my top 5 of the week. In fact, 2 Dan Panosian books just missed those 5 that I put in my weekly shorts video, but there were covers 6 and 7 easily. But with that said, A, B, and C here, pick the one that you like personally, and no incentives, and just give it a read because I don't know, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. Plus, he's working with Scott Snyder too, so it's a decent book. With that said, the other thing coming out this week you probably are looking forward to is Absolute Wonder Woman #4. Definitely, this is my favorite so far of the Absolute universe. Wonder Woman. This is my favorite series out of them. I like it better than Batman. I like it way better than Superman. And we'll see. We got a few new ones coming our way soon with Green Lantern, I think, and Flash. But we'll see. I don't know. For now, Wonder Woman is my favorite, and I'm looking forward to reading this this Wednesday. With that said, I'm not going to give you a breakdown of what's going on in the storyline. If you're reading, you are. If you're not, go catch up because this is worth a read. We got a few covers here. Cover A, we've got pretty awesome B, C's, and D covers. I really like the Villa Lobos there on the side. It is one of my favorites of the week. And that one in the center there is also the Virgin 1 in 50. And there's also a 1 in 25 available as well. The incentives here can be found basically for a ratio or less. So if you want it, you can find them. Like many DC books, surprisingly, even though these Absolute books are on the hotter end for DC, the incentives actually don't do that much these days. It's just basically like $45 you can find like the 1 in 50, or basically 20 or 25 for the 1 in 25. Maybe even cheaper depending where you look. So if you like them, you can generally find them at ratio or less. Now, apart from that, I'm also looking forward to Justice League Unlimited #3. Huge cast of characters. I like it. I don't know. I'm kind of down to keep reading in on this. So with that, we're expanding even more, focusing on some other side characters. I want to see where this goes as we come in and enter the Atom Project. So let's see where we're heading here. A lot of covers as well here with the cover A, and then we've got B covers and C covers. I think that one might be connecting in some way, but I like the Zerdy there in the middle. Ain't bad. Decent foil option here, as well as a pretty cool, I think, is that a Federici in the middle? I think it might be a not 100%, but I like it. Point being, I like the art there in the middle. And we even have a couple of incentives if you want to get those as well, a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 50. Not really loving either of these. They're just kind of so-so, and you can find them for, again, a decent price, and like half ratio, really. So go out there and shop, and if you like it, go ahead and pick it up. We are also getting G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, issue 313, as Destro versus Cobra Commander. This story is finally coming to a head here with this huge battle of all these characters. So winner takes all. We'll see where Larry Hama's taking us after this. But Pretty cool cover A. The cover B is basically just a black and white version of the cover A. And then we also have a pretty awesome 1 in 10. This time out, it's a Baroness cover, which is one of those color bleed, situations. We had it with Duke and Stalker recently, even a Snake Eyes. This month, we're getting Baroness. So I wouldn't be surprised if some people start picking this one up because it's a Baroness cover. Right now, it's still only like 10 to 15 bucks. So it's nothing to write home about for a 1 in 10. But, who knows where it might go. I'm just saying, I like it. And I'm going to try to pick one up for about ratio if I can. So with that said, Void Rivals is our Energon Universe book for the week. You guys know I'm a big fan of that with G.I. Joe Transformers. I do like the Void Rivals series here as well. So pick this one up as we're getting Skuxoid, if I'm saying his name right, versus Pythona. The battle you didn't know you wanted. So Skuxoid is that like pig-looking like character, and Pythona, from G.I. Joe, the Cobra La, she's got the ponytail, etc. This is the cover A. Pretty cool cover B here. I kind of dig this one quite a bit. I think it's a Omare. I don't know if I'm saying it right. But then there's also some incentives as well with our 1 in 10, 1 in 25, and 1 in 50, with the 10 and the 50 both showing off Skuxoid as the pig character that I'm talking about. And then you got a Rodimus Prime there in the middle. With that said, the 1 in 10, as you know, Energon Universe, they do connecting covers. This is the start of a new 3-set cover set. So we wrapped up the last one with the last issue. Now we're starting off a new 3-issue set featuring some of these characters over the next 2 issues. So we'll build it out as we come with more. But for now, that 1 in 10 is all by itself. Now, apart from the Energon Universe, you guys know I'm also a fan of the Ghost Machine side of things over at Image. And this week out, one of my favorite titles over there is Hyde Street. I like the dark horror aspects of this book. It reminds me of old school Vertigo. I dig it. I like it. Here we're getting some new tales. Looks like they could be Christmas related, but that's fine. A little missed the window a tiny bit, but still fine. Issue 3, we got a cover A, B, and a C here. No incentives, so you pick up the one that you like. And, give this a read because, like I said, to me, this is definitely worth a read. Jeff Johns doing some of this kind of fun Vertigo horror type stuff. Now, I'm going to read a book that I have not read in a while because I want to start this new series. I'm looking forward to this Doom, above all, whatever the heck they're calling this Doom event. I'm looking forward to more Dr. Doom. So with that said, I'm looking forward to reading this issue of Fantastic Four because it is supposedly kicking off One World Under Doom. So you see it at the top of the top border. I want to check this out. Now, with that said, there is another cover that's for this book that will be very, very popular this week. We will get to that later on in the show, but just keep in mind that's probably the book everybody's going to be looking for this week. Fantastic Four, but not this cover. But I wouldn't sleep on the regular, though. Who knows? If this event becomes something, people will go back to when the event started. So keep that in mind, too. I just want to give it a read and see how it goes from there. But this is Fantastic Four number 28. The covers I'm going to show you for now are the cover A here, the stupid Disney cover, as well as a pretty cool Noto over there on the side. Yeah, I'm just tired of the Disney covers, honestly. That's all. I'm just over it, seeing Mickey and company just taking the place of the Marvel heroes. I mean, okay, it was fun for a little while, but Jesus, it's been a couple of years now. I'm just over it. That's all. But plenty of people are still probably collecting them, and God bless them if they are. I mean, I'm not judging. I can't keep doing it. I'm glad I didn't get into collecting these because there's no way I could keep affording this because too many books. But here we go with the regular color version, and then the 1 in 100 is a black and white version of that because I don't know who needs this, but there it is. It's out there. It's also very affordable, under ratio if you want it. But there you go. 1 in 100 Fantastic Four. With that said, I'm also really enjoying Mystique. I don't know, this Mystique series, we're up to issue 4. It's not 100% like what I wanted, but it's not bad. It's still pretty cool. Like, I like a lot of the angles. I'm not really loving. I never really was a big fan of Nick Fury Jr. It just seemed really forced. So that aspect of it, I'm not 100% on, but I could buy in it well enough. So Mystique number 4 coming out. We got 2 covers here with an A and a B. So get the one that you like and just give it a read. We're also getting more on the Uncanny X-Men with issue 9, Hunted by the Wolf Pack, as we move on from the head-to-head clash at Grey Malkin. We move on now with new storylines. So pick it up here. The Outliers are still finding their place in the mutant world. We'll get more on them in this issue of Uncanny at number 9. We've got cover A here. There is a pretty cool Nightcrawler by Mayhew as the B, which is also the Virgin 1 in 50. There may be other covers. We'll see later segments down the road for some of these books, but we'll get to those when we get there. But for now, for those of you out there who haven't tried Whatnot yet, now's your chance. Use the link down below in the description. Sign up, get yourselves a free $15 on your first purchase to spend on whatever you want with whomever you want. No strings attached, $15 just to give the app a try. You help out the channel, you get yourself something nice. You really got nothing to lose with that. Now, with that all said, here's where I'm going to try a new installment segment for this show, and it's going to be something that's going to be viewer recommendations. I ask you guys for recommendations all the time, and occasionally some of you give me some. This first time out, Barlord has been telling me in the live chat for weeks, if not months, to read this series, and I'm finally going to give it a shot. Now seems like a perfect time to go and give this a try, and the series he keeps telling me to read is Green Arrow. So I'm going to be giving Green Arrow a shot here with issue 20. Killer stalks Oliver Queen. I mean, the synopsis is not really needs to sell me. Barlord already sold me on the idea, so I'm going to give it a read, and I'm going to check it out this week. So I like the cover, Eye for an Eye, and I like the B cover here as well by Diodato. So I don't know which one I'm going to grab. I'll grab whichever one kind of pops off at me when I hit the stands. But yeah, I'm going to give this one a try this week. So that will be the viewer recommendation that I will try. So if you out there watching this show have a book you want to recommend for me to try that you don't see me mentioning in my reading list or anywhere else, or if you see me mention it somewhere else, but it's not on the reading list, tell me, because there's a good chance I might be buying it for the cover and not reading it. And it's something I should be reading. Like people have said, read Spider-Boy or read this, that, or the other. That's what I'm asking for. Recommendations in the comments down below, and I'll give it a try. With that said, some things just pop out to me now out of just, for whatever reason, and I'm going to put those in a new category. So it may not be recommended by you. It may just be something that kind of goes, you know what? I think now's the time. Like Fantastic Four could have fit this because I want to try that event. I haven't been reading Fantastic Four in a while, but for now, I'm going to try something new with a bit of a taste test. So I'm going to try out some of these new books and be like, you know what? I'm going to try this series out and see if it's what I want and if it fits what I like to read. And the book that kind of grabbed me this week to give it a taste test is Godzilla. I am a Godzilla fan, but I do not read a lot of Godzilla comics. But when I was flipping through and I saw some of these cool covers, especially Godzilla and the old school Universal monster type characters, I was like, what is this series? Hold on. Exactly what is Godzilla's Monsterpiece Theater? And then when I read it, and I'm reading, even in the face of the combined efforts of Jay Gatsby, Sherlock Holmes, Jules Verne, the Time Machinist, and I'm like, wait a second. So we're getting like a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen versus Godzilla sort of thing, and now we're throwing the monsters in the mix? All right, I'm going to give this a try. My interest has been sparked. I'm going to give this a try. So that's what this is for. I'm going to give this a look-see. This is the cover A. Caught my eye. The cover B here, like a old school playbill, also looks really cool. And then even the incentives are not bad. I think the 1 in 10 is a Gonzo, and I think it's a Mahfoud on the 125. All covers pretty great for this book, and fits a weird kind of I don't know how to put it. Like I'm expecting something odd but interesting. So I'm gonna give this one a look-see, give it a taste, and see if I like it. Now, with that said, any of you out there who have to go and get supplies, you need your bags, your boards, long and short boxes, CGC boxes, top loaders, whatever you need to keep your collectibles safe. It's money you hate spending, but you got to do it, so you might as well save money while you do it. Use my code RENA10. You can use the link below as well. Save 10% off using that RENA10 code, 10% off your entire order. You might as well save money while you're doing it. So you got to spend the money to buy the stuff, save some money, use the code. I mean, I'm just giving it for your benefit. Save you some money. You also help the channel, but help yourself saving some money while you're buying that stuff, because you just got to do it. And speaking of just got to do it, I'm going to do the just got to do it segment. These are more books that I might have fallen behind on reading or things I just got to pick up. So you've already seen a very healthy pull list already for the week. Oh, when you add in those two new with the viewer recommendation, I got to pick that up now. And then also my taste test, I got to pick that up now. It's already a lot of books for this week. But here's some more. I just got to do it. Just got to see them through. Starting off with Black Canary, Best of the Best. I've just fallen behind. I know we're only at round 3, but I read round 1. It was enough to pique my interest. I just never got around to reading 2, and now we're already at 3. So I'm just behind. I got to catch up. There's only going to be 6 issues altogether. But like I said, interesting concept. It's got a little bit of, I think I mentioned it before, that perfect game kind of vibe, where I only mentioned that because the perfect game was, Kevin Costner. He was pitching a perfect game, but when he was on the bench in between innings, they told backstory. So it's kind of that in the midst of a fight. So with that said, cover A here. You got a Sweeney Boo B cover, I believe, there as well. And then pretty nice Chuma Hill 1 in 25 on that number 3. So pick up any that you like. This 1 in 25 already has a little bit of interest, so keep an eye on it. Sure, the early sales right now are only right around ratio in that like 20, 25 kind of dollar range. But the listings right now are looking for 45. So we'll see what happens, as the week goes on. Could be interesting. Just something to keep an eye on. You never know. Could stay around that ratio mark. Could end up selling for more. You got a female character on a DC incentive. Those have been known to pop here and there. So keep an eye on it. With that said, moving on to a book, again, I'm just behind on. I've admitted it for weeks now, months even probably. Detective Comics, since they switched over from Ram V, I'm just a little behind. So I'm going to pick it up eventually, but I'm going to keep buying it until then. So Detective Comics, what are we up to now? 1093? Jeez. Cover A, we're going to see and find out more about who Asma is. Or Asima. I don't know if I'm saying her name right. I know it's not Asma. It's just every time I see it, that's all I think of. If put in the fact she's got this gear on her face, like with a mask, it makes me think she has breathing issues. But The Damp Ocean is one of the other books that just missed my favorite covers of the week. I really like it. The Batman and Robin and Asima there in the middle, I guess. And then not a bad cover there in the center either, which is also the black and white version for the 1 in 25 on this title. So if you're interested, you can get it. Well below ratio, it's out there. So with that said, Metamorpho. I mentioned it before. I'm not a huge Metamorpho fan. It just wasn't, he was never a character I followed or knew a lot about, but I was intrigued enough by that first issue to want to read a little bit more. So I'm going to pick up issue 2 to get a little bit more on Metamorpho to see where we're going here and also find out more about Element Gal, etc. So we'll see how this goes. Kind of curious. 2 covers here. An A and a B option. Pick the one that you like. The second one there is kind of fun with him coming right off the page and making the trade dress out of his fingers. It's kind of cool. Different look-see. Otherwise, just get the cover A and be done with it. Now, whether you guys know this or not, for I think it's got to be years at this point, I just keep getting Savage Dragon. I can't remember the last time I actually read Savage Dragon, but I just keep getting Savage Dragon books, probably for the last 100 issues. Because you remember, I think it was 175 was the last time we had the like naughty $10 book. You remember the one. The cover we can't really show anywhere because it is just, it's raunchy. That said, they're not doing it this time at $275, but we are getting a $10 special. Here we go. Cover A, 100-page, super spectacular. I mean, semi kind of anniversary. And then you got B covers, and you got the retro trade dress option there as well. Cool. I'm just going to get it because, like I told you, I've been getting Savage Dragon for ages now and just stashing them away in a box because I don't know why. I have obsessive compulsive, tendencies with certain titles, and I just can't let them go, can't let them break. So just going to keep getting it. With that said, moving on to the next title here, World Tree, issue 12. I'm a little behind on reading the series, which is why it's here, but I'm kind of curious, and especially with the background. We're going to look into the background of our killer character here. I'm kind of curious. Should give this a look. Try to catch up on reading it. But issue 12's got 2 open order covers with an A and a B. I think that B is also by Sweeney Boo again. And pretty cool 1 in 10. And a 1 in 25 by Puppeteer Lee that is not bad. I like it. It's one of my favorite variants for the week. Though it is a light week on covers, cover art. In my opinion, it's not as strong as last week, but we'll see how it goes. I did have my short for my top 5, and then top 5 variants will be tomorrow. But the 1 in 25 for the World Tree book here, something to keep an eye on. Just kind of curious. Right now, again, only one that sold was about $20, but the listings out there are more looking for 40 to 45. So kind of like that DC book. Copies selling for much cheaper, but their asking prices are looking for more. We'll see who wins out by Wednesday. So with that said, something to keep an eye on. Going back to Amazing Spider-Man and the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man, I will complain one more time about the upcoming renumbering because I think it's stupid. We do not need a new number 1, especially as we're nearing so close to Legacy issue 1000. Why are you starting off with a new number 1? It's only at 66. So we're going to force another 40, 30 or so issues on a new number 1 before we renumber again. It's just pointless. It's just pointless. Anyway, stop messing with the numbers, Marvel. 8 Deaths of Spider-Man continues. It's here because I actually am an issue or so behind on catching up. It's just coming out too quickly. It feels like it's coming out more than monthly, and I just can't keep up with that pace. But issue 66 is coming. I got a Scotty Young, got a Carrie Andrews cover here. All 3 covers here in the bags. All 3 covers are pretty good, so pick the one that you like. Even the incentives aren't bad, except, it's a black and white of the Scotty Young as the 1/100. And 1/25 is kind of cool. I like the Sammy 1/25. But Scotty Young, the only reason why I say the meh with the black and white is because there's so much empty space there. There's nothing on the side of that building. It's just so blank and empty. If you're going to get a remark there, cool. But otherwise, a lot of wasted space on the cover. That's all. But with that said, you can still find either of these for ratio or less if you're shopping or curious. So have at it if you like. Ultimate Spider-Man is also coming out. So we're getting a double dip of Spidey this week with the Ultimate title. I'm putting it here now again because I'm a little behind and, I'll catch up soon. Kraven's Most Dangerous Game. Sinister Six are all hunting the Ultimate Spider-Man. So, okay, so we're starting to get to the point where maybe we're just going to start rehashing a lot more stuff and it won't be as interesting as I'd hoped Ultimate Spider-Man was going to continue to be, but we'll see. I can hope. But issue 13, cover A, we've got B, C's covers here, and then we also got a 1/25 incentive as well by Greg Land if you want it. Nothing doing as far as pre-sales go, so if you want it, you can find it ratio or less. Moving on, Kid Venom. I don't know, I got a weird soft spot for this because I kind of like samurai and Bushido culture, so any kind of throwback, tie back to that, it's kind of got my interest, and you mix in Marvel characters, even a Venom symbiote, which is not my favorite. I'm still kind of curious, so I'm going to keep on picking this up. So, Spider Sting, Kid Venom comes face to face with a spider from another universe. All right, whatever. I'm just going to read it. May not be the best, but I like that weird stuff. So, issue 4, cover A. There is a cover B here as well, which is an homage to that Venom number 1 from not that long ago. So, not bad. I always like it when they do a decent homage. So, cool. Hopefully the trade dress matches better because I think this is an early image. So, hopefully they clean it up by the time the actual release comes. But with that said, let's keep rolling. And next we're moving on to Wolverine Revenge. That Red Band title. Well, we'll get to the Red Band book in a minute, but does it feel like this is old? Like this has been out for a while? Like I feel like it's just been too long of a gap between issues that I'm forgetting if I'm even caught up or not. Like I can't even remember what happened this series. I remember something about it was Colossus. This might get ripped in half. I can't really remember. So I think there's just too long of a gap between issues. But anyway, apparently more time has passed here. So maybe that's a good thing. And it feel like a refresh, new start. Cover A, we've got B's and C's here. I like that one in the center. I think it's a Massafara, if I'm not mistaken. But I like it. Pretty decent. And then there is a 1/25 here as well, if you're interested. But I don't know how many people are picking this title up and getting the regular version because most of us out there are picking up the polybagged Red Band version because we want that extra bit of blood and violence. I mean, that was how they were sold this book to us in the first place. So why they do 2 versions of it, I don't know. Just settle in, move it on over. I mean, they already did it with like Blade and that Elektra book with Unleash Hell or I forget what it's called. But you know what I'm saying? Like, don't make it an option anymore. Just go all in or not. So Werewolf by Night, all in on the Red Band. Go all in here. With that said, issue 4, here's the polybagged, an extra $1 for it. Cover A. Then we can take this. We'll take the trade dress off of it. That's the 1/100 by Greg Capullo. It's, ratio or so. But the more interesting book, I think, for most people out there is still the 1/25, which are still those homages to the EC horror titles. So here we go with issue 4, another throwback to Tales from the Crypt, number 22. Boom. Pretty good, homage. It matches up pretty well. And it's doing okay. So we'll see how this goes. It's close to ratio, $35, $40 for some early pre-sales. Asking prices right now, right around that $40 mark. So we'll see if it's closer to ratio or in that $40 mark kind of range. Wouldn't be surprised. I mean, way back in the day, these EC horror Marvel homages were starting to hit like 50 right out of the gate, and then they're up to 80, 100, over $100. Those days are gone, long gone now. But we'll see. Still could be some extra premiums paid on this book if people are still buying them. We'll see. With that said, let's get on to new number ones, as we got a handful of these to go over too. So what do we have new number one wise coming out for comics this week that I might not have already talked about? Well, we got the Patchwork Girl of Oz. So this is what, the 7th book or something like that in the series? It's like adapting the actual novels that the Wizard of Oz was based on. So yeah, the Land of Oz, new book, whatever, new book, Land of Oz. Anyway, new comic series. Starting up, check it out if you're into Oz. Otherwise, move on to something like this, The Best of Shadow. Sonic the Hedgehog. It's a collected edition of the best Shadow stories in the Sonic comics. So they've got issue, 69, 59, and Sonic 61. Oh, and 6. So, all right, cool. If you want to pick it up, it's only one cover. Go ahead and grab it. Turtles is doing the same thing with this Nobody character. So top issues there. You can look at the rundown there if you're curious of what issues they're collecting. But again, it's a one-shot collected edition. Pick it up if you want to play some catch-up. Otherwise, just move on to Papa Duke, number 1. Why'd you looking for Papa Doc? No, it's not Papa Doc. It's Papa Duke, who is, I think, like the baddie in the Night of the Cadillacs corner of the universe over at Keen Spot. You got Killtown, and you got Stitches, and like I said, the Night of the Cadillacs, and then Papa Duke, he was over on the other side. It's kind of a confusing story. It's kind of interesting, but at the same time, I don't get everything that's going on. And I don't know if I'm supposed to yet. But point being, this Papa Duke character, ruler of Blood World, we'll get more information on him in this story, I'm assuming. Cover A, there's B covers and C covers. There's blank covers and other covers here. And then we've also got some more expensive flip hollow foil covers. So it's like two-sided and it costs $20 right out of the gate. Or you can get this one that's hollow foil, two-sided, that's $20 right out of the gate. Or you can get a virgin version of this two-sided book and it's the 1 in 20 incentive. Or if you really are feeling froggy, you can spend $100 on a metal cover here. Up to you. That said, if you think that's weird, we're going to stick with the metal idea and go on with another weird title that who decided to make this a team up that we all needed. But we're getting it. Dr. Doom and Rocket Raccoon, number 1. Yep, unusual duos. I'm curious. I'll admit it. I'm curious. I don't know why J. Michael Straczynski's doing it, but okay. I'm kind of curious. Here's cover A. We've got B covers and C covers here. We've got another cover option there to go with that cover A. But I wanted to leave the cover A in the middle because that is the 1 in 100 virgin, along with another option for the 1 in 25. So, yeah. Now, the 1 in 100, nobody's bought one that I could find, but the asking prices are looking for a lot of money. They're looking for 160 to 180. Maybe that's why they haven't sold yet. Maybe the price will come down, but still something to watch because it is a high ratio incentive of a very odd team up involving characters that people do like. So we'll see what happens with this book. Now, with that said, we just keep getting these, but here's another one. So what if Galactus transformed Rogue into his herald? All right. And are we almost done now with these? Because I tell you, I'm not loving these. They're just kind of meh. Like that Hulk one particularly. It's like never finished, but anyway, you know what? I don't think I finished reading the Moon. I don't even think I read the Moon Knight one. Was that the last one? It was Moon Knight last. Anyway, I did read the Gambit one, but yeah. Anyway, we got Rogue now. Okay, so Rogue. Cover A, we've got a science kind of throwback cover B and another C cover here as well, and then a 1 in 10 design cover if you are interested here. All right, I don't know. I'm just kind of over this idea of the what ifs. You're just running it into the ground. I know we can do this for every character in the Marvel Universe if we wanted to. That doesn't mean we have to. Just because we can doesn't mean we have to. With that said, X-Men. Getting a new X-Men number 1. This is Xavier's Secret. Ooh. Apparently, this is adapted from one of those Infinity comics. So it was an online comic that they're adapting. So first time in print. All right. It's a story I haven't read yet, so it's new to me. It does take a little bit of away from it when if I realize this has already been out there and a lot of other people have been reading it. It's just I don't read those Infinity or those Infinity comics, whatever those online things are. It's not for me. So I don't read them or see them. So it's a new story for me. Anyway, something to keep an eye on. Cover A here. There's also a B cover option. And then there's also a pretty cool 1 in 25, which I do like a lot. This is a AKA cover. Aka, I don't know how you pronounce it, but I like it. It's cool Cyclops. Big X. Boom. 1 in 25. And we'll see. We'll see how this one does. Right now, early pre-sales, couple around $15. One sold for 40. And right now, the only copy I could find listed was looking for 50. So, I don't know. Again, weird new #1. May not get a lot of orders. Could be tougher to find. Causing higher asks at pre-sale. Just because the ask is there doesn't mean it's worth that. Just saying. A lot of people like to go fishing on those pre-sales. Playing up on FOMO and trying to see if they can set the market price at a point that's much higher than what people are actually paying. $15. So we'll see. With that said, let's get into some of those variants. So we got a lot of theme variants for the month of January still to get through. Going back to Fantastic Four homages. Homages? Yeah, you can say it all three ways. You can say it the English, British, or French way. Just saying. With that said, let's go for the rundown of these because there are a lot of them this week too. Not one less than last week, but I still think there's like 6. So here we go. Amazing Spider-Man 66. We get the Spider-Man 1 throwback. Cool. Fantastic Four 28. We've got a variant there going back to Fantastic Four #1 because we haven't seen that before. Here's another one we're starting to see more and more of lately. Infinity Gauntlet on Iron Man #4. Not bad. It's just okay. We just saw this one not that long ago, done much better by David Nakayama. But here's a Phoenix throwback to X-Men 101. So again, we've seen this already a couple times recently, and it's been done better than this one. Sorry, just being honest. And here's an Avengers 4 throwback. I mean, it's not terrible. And the background is just as blank empty as the white background is, but hell, I might prefer going with the white. It makes more of a statement. I don't know how to explain it. Even though it is blank white, it seems more filled than the other one, which seems emptier because they did try to do something. I don't know. Just weird. And one more. Uncanny X-Men 9. We've got a throwback to Uncanny 130. Actually, it's just X-Men 136. Even though it says Uncanny, it still technically was X-Men 136 at the time. And we got the cool purple flashy background. I really would have wished they would have kept the old school ink blot way of the background, like making that, because the streaks look kind of cool and kind of snazzy, but it looks cheaper in a way. We need some more heavier blacks. You got to be more assertive with the black, help the comic pop a little bit. So I would have liked to see the background from the actual 136 more incorporated into this homage. That's all. With that said, that's all we've got for this week. We've got one more week with another 5 coming. Yeah, look at that. 5 more coming next week. And then that'll be the wrap up of the Fantastic Four homages. But the book probably of the week, and the one you should probably keep an eye out for when you hit your shop, is next. And that is, as you might guessed it, the Marvel Rivals variant. Because people are loving these and they're paying a crap load for them. Right out of the gate, $20-25 before we can even know what to hit us. So it happened with the first 3 the first week. They quickly jumped from cover price to $10-15, and then now they're all steady like $20-25, and then storm right out of the gate last week. We saw sets of all 4 selling for like $100-120, and now we've got the 5th and final installment, which looks a little different because it doesn't have the white background, albeit it's a Peach Momoko, it's Galactica, Galactus' daughter, and it's a Jeff the Land Shark. You put all these things together, this is a book that people are probably going to want. Coupled with the fact that it is on Fantastic Four 28, which is kicking off the Emperor or the One World Under Doom. I don't know why I can't stop saying Emperor Doom, but One World Under Doom storyline. So yeah, it's got a lot going for it. So a lot of interest will probably be there this week. I'm not saying it's going to stay where it's going to hit. I just am imagining by Friday, this is going to hit prices that we're not going to be able to ignore. So with that said, it is the last of these Marvel Rivals variants, but I would be remiss if I didn't say I expect Marvel to do more. I expect to see more of these at some point, maybe just a couple months down the line, because they do pretty well. And Marvel don't let things like that go. They usually come back to it. So we'll probably come back to the Marvel Rivals well pretty soon. But until then, stay warm with some sweater weather covers here at DC. We got a few to wrap up the month, starting off with Catwoman. So obviously got to do a Catwoman, right? This is a Zerdy. So you got a Nathan Zerdy cover here on Catwoman 72. Pretty cool. Looks like she's got some hot cocoa, little bat snowman, fun. Harley's got one here too. Harley 47 laying down with some a snowman Ivy. So pretty cool. Or snow woman Ivy, I guess. What else we got here? We got Superman loving just chilling out in the icy waters. He was with Batman last week, but now he's all by himself lonesome now. And then following his footsteps, Wonder Woman's doing another like little hit monkey type warm up. So it looks like those, those heated from the earth, from the volcanoes, kind of like springs, those hot springs, I guess. Anyway, Wonder Woman 17, Frank Cho, pretty cool. And I think that's it. I think those are all the sweater weathers. So I think that's the wrap up there, because DC doesn't do a lot of new things on that fifth week. And that would be fifth week next week for DC. So we'll just get some annuals and one-shots as I expect. But yeah, we'll see when we get there. But for now, we still got later prints to talk about. And what later prints we have this week are not many, but we probably need to pay attention to all of them. Starting off with Absolute Wonder Woman #1, the third printing. Because, well, more people, I guess, need to read it. I mean, I suggest that you read it if you haven't read it already. I just feel by this point that most people got a copy. But if not, third print's coming with multiple cover options. Because why don't we have 3 options? Oh, including A. I really like the one. I like that Lyrics Lee. Yeah, I think it's a Lyrics Lee over on the side. I dig it. I don't know why we need it, but I dig it. And then we got a foil, which is a foil of the Virgin for #1. That's fun. And then if you don't want it to be shiny, then it's the 1 in 25 for this week. Because, well, why not do a 1 in 25? I guess. These have come down from where they used to be. These used to be really hot out of the gate, these later printings on these incentives on later printings. I mean, now they've kind of leveled off a bit. Here we're seeing, a couple of $40 sales, not many, but listing prices closer to that ratio mark. I mean, that's $28. It's pretty close to the 1 in to a 25. And then, yes, there is one listed for 60, but it's sitting there. So I don't know. We'll see how this goes going forward, but it's not just the third printing for issue 1. We also have the second print for issue 2, which I don't know. They keep doing this cover. Like, this is that throwback to Sensational Comics #1 with that weird run that, again, I think I do this every time I see these covers because I can't not see it, but this looks like the kid dance from House Party. You know, the one where you start trying to teach them and they do that like little sidestep thing. So, you remember this one? That's what it looks like she's doing. It looks like she's lunging to the side. We got her knee up and everything. Just saying. That's all I see. I can't unsee it. With that said, there's a foil version of it too. So if you still want that high knee going for foil, you can get it. And then we got a Chuma Hill. Wait, no, that's not Chuma Hill, is it? No, that's somebody else. I forget who did that one. Could be a March cover. Anyway, we got another option there for the second print. And then there is, again, I'm going to take that House Party dance, make it a black and white, and that will be our 1 in 25 for the second print, because why not? So we'll see. Again, early pre-sales. One sold for 40 and then one sold for 15. Asking prices, up 40 and 60 right now, but we'll see where they go. And we'll see what they sell for as the week goes on. But for now, something to watch. But I feel like the later print incentives have been losing steam of late. But that's not stopping publishers from doing them, because it's not just DC. I'm not pointing any fingers at any one person, because it wasn't even DC who started it. It was Marvel who started it, I think. And, well, they got some more for us with West Coast Avengers #1. How long ago was West Coast Avengers #1? And we really don't need more of these. Ooh. Anyway, Adam Hughes, they took the foil. I think this was a foil. They took the foil off, and now it's a regular cover for the second print. And then we've got our what is this guy's name? I can't remember. It's Blue Lightning or no, Blue something. I don't know. It's LA Knight with some gray hair wearing a Cameron Grimes vest. If you watch wrestling, you'll have some sense of what I'm talking about. But I don't know. Virgin cover of his first appearance here, 1 in 25. I couldn't find any sold or any listed yet. So who knows if people even know or care about this one. But with that said, we've also got Mark Spears Monsters. It's a beast still on the market. So something to keep an eye on. If you didn't get a hold of issue 2, here's your chance. You can get the second print of issue 2. Pretty cool cover. And then if you want, there is a 1 in 20 incentive. It is the, I guess, a sketch version of the creature on a 1 in 20. So pick it up if you can find it. I like he did his signature with the old school McFarlane scroll. I used to do that too when I was younger. I think we talked about that. It's how I used to sign. But with that said, pick it up if you can find it. Already early sales on this 1 in 20. You can see here $55 pretty consistently. And then asking prices are pretty consistent around $55. So if you can find it for less than that, you probably did well for the 1 in 20. With that said, we're going to hop on over to Oversize as we're talking about later printings as kind of a little bit of a connective tissue running through here. While we didn't have any facsimiles this week, we do have a facsimile on the Oversize market. So that's where we'll go first. And it's the greatest race of all time, a facsimile limited collector's edition reprint of that treasury size or huge size Superman versus the Flash race. So it's $15 because it's going to be big. It's a big format, $15. There's also a sketch or a blank cover if you want to get that. Get something fun done on that, bring it to a con. Or if you want to pay $2 more for $16.99, you can get it in shiny foil. Up to you. But while we're here talking about these big books and these oversized books, we might as well talk about Distillery, who seems to be the only one still doing it who aren't magazine. So with this, we have the 4th issue. Is that where we're at, I think, on Life? But anyway, 48 pages, wraparound, perfect bounds. Yeah, it's a flip book. It's a flip book, and they have weird flip covers here. Here's the cover A. Here's some other options. You can see how it kind of goes. You're going to have to flip it to read it, I guess. And then we've got another one here, another cover option there where you can flip it and read the other side. So I probably should have flipped the image so we could see both of them clearly, but you get the idea. I don't know. Anyway, Distillery is also giving us this Time Waits, issue 3, coming out this week. And this one's listed for fans of Deja Vu, A History of Violence, and Looper. So, okay. So I guess we got some timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly type stuff going on. Again, $9, magazine, perfect bound size. There's the cover A. Got other options here for you if you want those, and some incentives as well if you want 1 in 10s, 25s, or even a 1 in 50. And all these usually have the wraparounds covers, unless they're that flip book that we have on Life. Now, with that said, we're getting near the end. We're getting near the end. Sorry I had to kind of rush today, but I had a minor emergency. Hot water heater sprung a leak out of the hose. It was spraying everywhere. Had to shut the water off. Then we had no water and we had no heat because it sprayed all over the heater, and then the igniter wouldn't hit. It was a pain. Thankfully, everything got squared away. Cost a few bucks to get somebody out here and get it fixed on a holiday, but we got it done. It got done. We're all fine, but still took up most of my day, which is why this is coming in a little bit late. But let's just get to it and get into covers. Starting off with, yes, we do have a Deadly Tales of Gunslinger cover here by Mark Spears. I'm not gonna tell you not to get it. I'm a fan. You guys know by now. I mean, Mark does stop by every once in a while, but I'm not a fan just because he stops by and hangs out with us. I just like his art, and I tell you that. So I like this cover. You don't like it, you don't have to, but I like it, so pick it up. So I'll put it in one of my covers that I like. That's all this section is. These are just covers that I like. I don't need to know or like what's inside the guts of this book. I'm not a big Gunslinger Spawn fan or anything. I just like the cover. Same thing here with this King Spawn. I don't know what's going on in King Spawn because I don't read it. But this is a pretty cool Puppeteer League cover. 2 good Puppeteer League covers this week, but this one's pretty awesome with it looks like the, I don't know if it's a Cerebus or if it's just like the Ghostbusters, gargoyle things. I've been watching Ghostbusters a lot lately. Anyway, moving on. Helverine also has some cool covers. I really don't have any interest in reading about Helverine, but Kendrick Lim cover is kind of cool. And then the damn Panosian, another one. Granted, this one, is third on my list on the Panosians of the week, but I still like it. It has a kind of a old school Joe Kubert kind of vibe with the way that it's inked. It's got kind of a throwback, bit of a sketchier, scratchier style. I kind of like it, like the Sergeant Rock stuff. But anyway, Dan Panosian on that. And then there's also a solid, 1 in 25 by Asra. I don't know if I'm saying the name right. Anyway, I like the 1 in 25 too. It's not selling for anything, but these are just covers I like, just pointing them out. Now, with that said, a lot of people's favorite segment, in our last segment of the day, we will get into a good deal of cheesecake covers. There's a good chunk of them this week, starting off with Catwoman. So, Catwoman 72. Plenty of options here. We got a cover A, ain't bad. We got a Frank Cho we can look at, and a pretty cool Ikajor, I believe, over on the side there. I really like it. I don't know. And I like the Cho, but I like Frank Cho. I've admitted that plenty of times. And then the Cho is also the 1 in 50 when we take what limited bit of trade dress we already had. And then there's also a Scott Forbes 1 in 25 if you are interested in that. Both of these are well under ratio if you want them. So if you want them, you can go find them. They're out there. We also got Harley this week. So Elizabeth Torque doing the cover A's. Not bad. It's got kind of more of a cartoony style than we've seen as of late. But apart from that, we also have a Nakayama here in the middle. And then we got that kind of throwback pulp book kind of thing. So we got a Jello mold. That's kind of fun. And then a pretty fun 1 in 25. I don't know. I just like this one. There's something about the colors that I really like it. And with just the Harley behind her and just got the detonator and everything. I don't know. It's just the cover just looks well put together through and through for me. So I like it. A little weird little anime kind of vibe. Maybe even it's actually has kind of like a Marvel Rivals kind of vibe, like the way that those are designed. I don't know, but I like it. Power Girl also out this week. So you can see we have a couple of options here with the regular cover A, and then we've got one in the middle that looks very, very familiar, and then we've got almost a negative space, her flying up into the clouds. Cool. I like all of them. Not bad. But yes, that one in the middle should look familiar because it's obviously a throwback callback to Hughes JSA Classified. But I don't see the after. I like it when the artist puts the after in there. Just saying. After Hughes. Doesn't hurt. Wonder Woman also coming out this week. So, Wonder Woman, granted, this isn't very cheesecakey, but it's Wonder Woman. I wanted to show you. It's issue 17. But we do got a couple of options. We got some jumping out at you action out of Nakayama. And then I really like the Del Mundo, where she's doing like a cat's cradle thing with the rope. I don't know why. It's so simple, but I just like the art. I don't know. I just like it. That's all. And then I'm just showing you the 1 in 25. It has nothing to do with anything. So, boom, there's the 1 in 25. With that, I don't even know why I show you these, but I do. Barbarella, number 3. We got a Linzer. And then we've got a whole slew of other covers here as well with the Linzer. Okay, pick the one that you like. We got a cosplay even, and we got a 1 in 7 that's different from the rest. So, yeah, Barbarella. And that's our little bit from Dynamite this week. No Red Sonja or Vampirilla. But we do have some Zenoscope for you. So let's hit up Grim Fairy Tales. We got Thumbelina here, apparently, with cover A options. And then we got some B and C options. Are Randy Green. It's Randy Green, right? Not Paul Green. It's Paul Green. Yeah, I can't remember. It's Green. And then Ivan Dow over on the side there. And then that one in the center, the green, we'll take it, make it a little bit naughtier. And then there's your 1 in 20. Just saying. Moving on, we also have out of Marvel just a random Scarlet Witch by Derek Chu. I don't want to say random, but it's a Scarlet Witch cover on Iron Man. It just kind of fits, so I'll put it in here. And then we've got Phoenix. Granted, the regular cover for Phoenix isn't too much, but I like the Sif. The Ikajor doing Sif is pretty cool, and she also has a huge sword. I guess all of them are getting huge swords now, thanks to Magic and Wonder Woman, and now Sif's got a big sword. There is also a 1 in 50 version of that, if you're interested. Yeah, we'll see where prices go on it. I'll keep an eye on it, but nothing really to report above ratio yet, so didn't throw any of that pricing info out there, but something to keep an eye on. But going back to Scarlet Witch, on her own title, we got the Dodderman number 1, cover A, I should say, on issue 8. Looks like she's flying over the Sarlacc pit. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in the title. I haven't been reading it lately. And then we also have another option here with her doing some magic things. So, yeah, pick them up if you like them. But then with our final book, that we'll talk about today, and finishing off the cheesecake section, we've got this book out of Whatnot, Pinopocalypse. I think I got it right. I can't type it right because trying to search this thing was a pain because I'm like, wait a second, where's the Pinopocalypse? Anyway, it's a mix of 50 sci-fi horror and tropes reimagined with a clever twist, blah, 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 blah. All I know is these covers are all very intriguing, and all of them are some decent throwbacks. Here's the cover A. Pretty solid. I already like it. And then we've got option here in the middle. You got all the hands. You got kind of like a Marilyn Monroe thing with the diamonds are a girl's best friend going on, or maybe even like an American Beauty with the flowers petals. And then we got the throwback magazine style cover there. And then we've got the Evil Dead option in the middle and the Walking Dead option over there. So it looks like we're getting some sort of zombies here, is my guess, thrown up with these pinups. And then we've also got a incentives. So with incentives, we've got a 1 in 10, a 1 in 15, and a 1 in 25. All pretty nice, and could be tough to track down because I don't know of a lot of shops that will be doing incentives on these. But so far as I can see, the 1 in 25, early indicators are people are willing to pay extra for it with 30, best offer on 36, and then once over 62. And there's none listed right now. And a lot of online shops are already sold out, and they were at like Midtown, for instance, was already asking a premium in like the $30, $40 range, and they're already out. So who knows? Who knows where it might go? Just something to keep an eye on. It's pretty cool. I like it. I know we talked about it on Bruce's show yesterday because it was one of Joe's books. But I don't know. We'll see where it goes from here. And with that all said, that's all I got for you this week. So I'm just going to try to wrap it up here. It's a tiny bit short, not too much. But as I mentioned, had a minor emergency, set me back some time today, so this is coming a little bit late. I'm going to try to do all the other shows I was planning to do this week, but we'll see how it goes. Again, a little thrown off on schedule now, having to deal with the water heater business. But with that all said, thanks for all the support, and thanks for stopping in and checking this out, and I will see you all later with some more content. All right?